That one still does exist, but it's in my home.
So anyway. Welcome back to the Winged Badger Tavern. It's a glittering canvas, our sci-fi adventure. I am your humble GM. Oh, I just did the Brennan thing. The humble GM. That's Brennan, right? Does that?
I don't know.
I don't want to steal.
Know if he says humble.
Welcome back to the Winged Badger Tavern, where friends tell stories. I'm your game master, Josh, and I'm joined by some of my friends. Friends, let's introduce yourselves. We'll go this way around the table.
Hello, I am Trevor.
Hi.
I play Astro Adon, a lucky explorer who works for a living and is almost tier 2.
Let's go.
Ooh. What's happening? I'm Tyler. I play Ronan Voss. I'm a tongue-tied explorer who jailed sailed beneath the Jolly Roger.
Hello, I'm your. You consider me a friend?
Oh, boy.
Awesome. Okay, my name's Cleo. I play JAQLINE, aka the Jet-Assisted Quantum Learning Interstellar Navigational Engine. I had to read that. Is a naive AI who entertains.
Yeah.
That's not a sentence grammatically, but it's okay.
I think it was the cleanest it was done.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Perfect.
Hi, I'm Mike. I play Mark Putty, a clumsy adept who talks to the system.
And I'm Josh, your Winged Badger Game Master. I play everybody else. Without further ado, let's begin.
Yes.
And our adventure begins with... How many times can I draw this out?
For 2 hours.
The sound of klaxons and alarms going off. It is morning alpha time on the Spirit of Inquiry. And as the alarms begin sounding, this is where we left off our last session. So we had a little time skip between then and now, but we did tease this little moment at the end of our last session, which is that the captain's voice is coming over the intercom. Engineering to your stations. This is not a drill. Our spectrologist has detected an incoming asteroid. We need to reposition the ship on the pronto. And so in the in this morning moment, Ronan, you're probably serving breakfast to everybody. All of a sudden, the engineering team up and out. Which includes, look at Astro running. Love that.
Yeah.
Take an XP for running.
Heck yeah.
I love that. Running always works out. It's good for you. Astro.
Healthy.
In this moment, when the ship needs to be moved to a new location, bridge crew's going to be navigating, and then engineering team needs to make sure that the extra coolant is routed to the thrusters to make sure that everything can be fired at maximum safely. They need somebody who is in the reactor room watching the different levels as far as like how hot is everything. Do we need to change where that coolant is routed? And then they need somebody who is watching the hull integrity displays to make sure that if there is an impact, we can immediately seal off bulkheads to make sure the ship does not depressurize. Which of those roles do you believe Astro will fill?
He's going to be watching hull integrity.
Hull integrity. Excellent. So Astro Adon, you go rushing to probably the engineering bay, one of the engineer in like the rear wings where the ion thrusters are. You go rushing back in that direction, even as Kyle Smith goes rushing past you. He yells out, "I'll take the coolant!" And he sprints around a corner and kind of disappears, which leaves Zara to go to the reactor chamber for reactor 3. At this moment, we're going to turn this into a roll. Okay. This asteroid is a level 5 threat to the ship. We're going to start with the fact that one of our NPCs is high enough to get the thrusters running. The other NPC is high enough to get the coolant engaged. So there is no hindering here. Yep. But I'm going to let you roll on behalf of the Spirit of Inquiry a defense roll against this asteroid. This is a level 5 defense roll. We need a 15 or higher.
Okay. What level is the Spirit of Inquiry?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. You said might defense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna spend 2 levels of effort.
Great. Astro's working hard.
Whoa.
I have 1 edge.
Okay. So you subtract 1 from your point spend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings it to a level 3.
Yes.
I am trained in hull repair. I guess
that would be after the fact. If you fail this roll, you'll have a little bit of an edge when it comes to fixing the problem.
I'm trained in taking the punch.
Piloting and navigation.
If you were piloting, I would let you use that, but you're not.
That's fair. Then I will do the level 3 roll.
Okay, excellent.
Sorry,
target roll was 9. You rolled a 10.
I rolled a 10.
The
Let's
rest
go.
of you probably still up in the Ronan and Mark, at least still up in the mess hall. Jackie, you won't feel this because you're in a little cortex ship, but you feel a sudden lurch as the spirit of inquiry rolls hard, and then it's almost like drifting. It like comes around in like 3 different aspects of turning, dodges out of the way, and through the little display that has popped up. Every room has an emergency display that appears to show you where the threat is, essentially. And so on the little display, you see nothing. The asteroid came so close to the ship that it has fully blocked the cameras as it rolls past. There's just darkness on the display for a second. And then after a few seconds of pause, you see like stars and the kind of nebula cloud that's, beyond you, and everything sort of begins to reemerge on the camera. And you hear Captain Checkama's voice come back over the intercom. Good work, engineering team. Threat averted. Everyone can return to normal. And, the alarm stops sounding. The red lights turn off and the normal lights turn back on. And everything is back to normal. In this moment, Mark Putty, who are you sitting with at breakfast? What's going on this morning?
This morning I'm having an intense breakfast.
You want me to change the vibe for you?
My frosted mini wheats.
Here, I'll change the vibe up for you.
Hashtag
Let's
not
switch it up.
Space cereal.
Let's
Spacios.
Let's put you in. Here we go. I'll put you in this room.
Oh.
There you go.
I think I'm sitting there. I think I'm having a little breakfast snackage. Oh, well, would Kyle be here? He's probably off doing stuff.
Kyle just left. He's
just with the
engineering.
thing. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I was having breakfast with Kyle,
And then he left.
and then he left. But I believe I'd be here.
That
with,
would leave you sitting at the table now alone with Talia Bones. If you were sitting with Kyle for breakfast.
Okay.
Kyle, we've already established
We can
that like
say
he
she's
eats with
there.
Talia at most meal times.
Yeah.
So
then-
Talia,
We'll have Talia there.
Talia Bones, ship security officer, looks across the table at you. She has deftly caught her bowl of cereal and like turned it as the ship rolled to keep all the cereal in it, and then she just gently sets it back down.
I'm fully covered in milk.
Well, that was exciting.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Um,
You look a little. You got a little something.
a little bit
Yeah, a
of
little
something.
something.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Talia. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd take a little napkin and try and dab it out. I always get the thin
It's
one.
like all down your shirt. You're like dabbing off your face.
Oh, so thin. That was stressful. But,
Yeah.
we don't hang out much.
No.
No.
So, I see you at the range sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes
I didn't know you shoot.
pop
I wouldn't
out.
have. I wouldn't have thought you would.
We just cut to like Mark trying to shoot a gun and blast back, hits himself in the eye. Oh!
Sure, take a might damage. Just the memory of it is so strong.
Psychic damage.
1 point of might damage for Mark.
So I'm sitting there with my bruised eye. Yeah, it's fun. I get over there, Astro and oh no, Ronan. We hang out sometimes. I try to get over there. Bring Kyle sometimes.
With Astro and Ronan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That just not who I usually see you going to the range with.
Sometimes, yeah, I'm going with Kyle.
Yeah.
Go with Kyle.
It's just.
Is that fine?
I think
It's not
so.
weird.
I don't know.
Have you heard anything? What,
Kyle
you said
doesn't
something?
report to me. What?
Okay.
What?
That's just you said something.
What you? I did. I just asking about you. You're so- in the silence, we just hear the drip, drip, drip of milk falling out of your shirt.
Ronan's gonna like accidentally drop something. Accidentally.
Oh, hey, Ronan. Hey, good. Whoa, my bud, my friend.
Just gonna walk over. I might walk
morning.
over at this point because I'm
Hello?
already finished. I guess he would be finished up with people, or at this point most of the people are left out. So he's probably cleaning up. But yeah, Ronan's gonna come over, throw his towel over his top, give a nice little greeting to everybody.
On your shoulder, Ivan throws a teeny little lens cloth over his shoulder and waves.
I look at both of those little towels still with my little napkins.
That's what I was saying.
Hey.
Ronan's gonna immediately notice Putty and just kind of ball it up and toss it towards him.
Thank you.
Like, there you go.
Thank you.
And he's gonna attempt to start a conversation with Talia. And is everything to your liking today?
That breakfast?
Yes.
Is good.
Good. I love to hear it. Mark, I mean, from what I see, you're wearing most of it, but did any make it in your mouth?
But
Okay.
a few. I got the frosted Minis.
I went with the Galactic Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Ah,
Trying to be
good.
healthy. Trying to be healthy.
with the frosted.
It's wheat. It's wheat.
Well, there is wheat in it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
It's something.
Mark, I believe this is an example of an awkward conversation.
I'm gonna go to my room real quick. Just kidding. Sorry.
That's fine.
God, I'm forgetting everyone's name.
Is that correct?
It's something. I'm gonna just. I got to do some training. You're right. I'm done with breakfast. Thank you. It was delicious.
Ronan's also gonna, exit the situation just because calmly, but I want to do something with Ronan, and he's gonna walk back into the kitchen, and it's just gonna be an absolute mess right now. From the ship turning over, everything in the kitchen is now it's just a mess. Let's just say that. I think he's gonna try
On your shoulder, Ivan crosses his arms and shakes his head.
It's very much a very disappointing situation. Ronan's gonna think a little bit though, and he's going to. I guess everything's calmed down now, right? So everybody can just freely kind of go about their business. He's going to go to the fabricationist.
Sam Nova.
I want to try and possibly make something, or he's going to try and make something for like a,
Just ask her. What can I do for you?
Sam, I'm wondering if you can make me something that'll keep my my cutting board, my table, my stove, everything level if the ship were to move.
So you don't want it bolted down. You want it to
Exactly.
do this.
Keep it nice and steady, but
Ooh.
with the gravity of the ship,
sounds
just in case we
interesting.
turn again. Because I don't plan on cleaning this up again.
Let's see. And she opens up a little data pad she wears on her wrist, and kind of 3D models begin appearing in the air in front of her. And she goes, "Yeah, I bet I could do that. I'm gonna have to get some materials from Astro. You want to talk to him or me?"
I'll go see Astro.
That's probably for the best. She's surrounded by half-completed projects in the 6 weeks
Aren't like
that
some
it's
of
been.
them from Astro, probably.
All of the materials come from Astro. He's
Yeah.
the ship supply officer. So every time she starts a new project, she goes to Astro to get the materials budget for it. It's like, that would be better if you talk to him, I think. I'll try and have a blueprint done for when you get back. If you just maybe go see about that.
Fantastic.
Excellent. And you walk out.
Ronan's gonna walk down, and I guess to wherever Astro is.
Astro's in engineering.
Astro.
So
Then Ronan's head to engineering. Then.
great. So the research deck is towards the front of the Spirit of Inquiry. So you go down some stairs past the Arboretum, and then you take essentially the whole length of the ship. You walk down a long hallway. You bypass a bunch of doors, food storage, and all kinds of stuff. You get to the other side, where the 2 rear wings that have the ion thrusters in them are located, and in each of those is another engineering bay. Astro is in one of them. So as you walk into that room, the sound of the engine gets a lot louder and everything as you go in there. Imagine if I had, there we go. You walk into the engineering room and all the different sounds. There's like machinery operating and there's different things. And Astro is seated in a corner. What do you think Astro is doing? Maybe like a little write-up from the asteroid incident or something?
Right up, and then he's going through any place inventory is stored and making sure nothing was knocked over.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna like tour each warehouse.
Yep.
So you see Astro, or you don't even see him. You just hear the sounds of like junk moving around from inside one of the storage areas in the engineering wing.
It's like, oh, that's a familiar sound. He's just gonna head towards it. I'll probably tap him on the shoulder, and it seems like you're doing the same thing that I'm going to be doing.
Oh yes. Storage on ships is never a solid endeavor.
I can see. Let me say something though. The kitchen is an absolute mess, and I was sent here from Sam saying that I could get some parts from you. I'm trying to stabilize my equipment inside the kitchen.
Did she give you a list?
She did.
Sure. Yeah,
Sam
she
give the
did.
List? Okay.
Yeah.
Sam, and then Ronan's gonna pull the list out and hand it to him, or however, if it's data pad related.
The list is not ruinous, but you're like, wow, there's a lot of different kinds of components she wants for something that only the ship's cook is going to use.
I'll have to go over inventory and discuss with her whether this is feasible for the amount that is needed.
Understood. It'll just help because just as of now, lunch today is going to be a little lacking. It's going to be a little boring.
I understand.
But I should have it cleaned up by dinner.
Sam will get back to you. I'll get back to her once I figure out if anything has been spilled.
Thank you. Is there anything I can do for you here?
No, go take care of your kitchen.
And then Ronan's gonna just head on out.
Ronan, get back in the kitchen.
Get back in the kitchen. All right. Yes. With that, he doesn't really need to go back to Sam. So Ronan's just going to go back to the kitchen and continue cleaning up.
Okay.
And yeah, that's
Great
that for that.
So Ronan, you're cleaning up the kitchen. Give me a speed roll just to see how long it takes you. It's going to get clean no matter what, but the better you roll, the faster it's cleaned.
I am trained in speed tasks while not wearing armor.
Nice.
Look at you go.
This is what your time as a pirate was preparing you for. Is a messy kitchen.
All right, and then so I'm just rolling and go. Or is it something I actually have to challenge? So I got an 18.
18. You are exceptionally fast at cleaning up the kitchen. Ronan is a meticulous guy, and I bet you had already made sure like there's nothing liquid that's gonna spill if anything. So it's just like picking up things and putting them back where they go. It's not like there's sanitizing that needs to happen.
He's definitely taking precautions and putting like really tough lids or latches on things that could spill or break open.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ingredients wise.
Meanwhile, we're gonna cut from here to Mark Putty and JAQLINE. I assume you brought JAQLINE with you when you left.
Of course.
Great. So where do you want to pick up Mark's story?
I think I'm just gonna go back to we're gonna go back to my room for a minute and do some little training checks with Jackie, I think.
Maybe work on the sensor array a little bit. Practice more of that. Because we established that in the 6 weeks since our last adventure, Jackie's been getting kind of a basic overview of the whole ship.
Right.
So I bet at this point it's like, maybe each day of the week you work a different system or something. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. So you go ahead and you boot up the like the little simulator or whatever that JAQLINE's been running in. Have you connected Jackie to the ship yet? Or is it all still like isolated, like protective simulations?
I feel like I would have had to have integrated her by now. Especially, I think we might have talked about it at the tavern talk, but like Lagrange was really wanting to take a peek at her. So I think
that's true.
I think we're still doing the thing where she splits.
Yeah, like sends a little instance of herself. When you do that, Jackie, you can decide how many of your intellect points you want to give to the other instance and how many you keep for yourself. Okay. And that'll be how you form those instances. If the other one dies, like it will have severe consequences for your like time stream and data recollection, right? Like it'll move you a step down the track. You'll need to be repaired.
Normal things.
But yeah, just normal things.
Normal things.
Cool. Okay, so do you just have... Like, is there an instance being reviewed right now, or is Jackie whole, do we think?
Unless you're putting me on the ship, I think we're good, unless Lagrange is reviewing me.
Maybe it's review day.
Ooh.
So you're doing like one last simulation before you send an instance of Jackie in for review. I love that.
I think that's fun.
Okay, so the simulator kind of buzzes to life.
Mark?
Yes?
Just wanted to follow up before we start the simulation. Did I understand that social interaction correctly?
Yeah, it was a little tense. I just don't really hang out with Tally all that much. And so it's like, small talk is hard. And like just...
Small talk.
It's like how's the weather kind of
Weather,
stuff.
yeah.
When I was at my therapist, she would say, like, you can't just focus on the meat and potatoes. You got to get to the veggies sometimes. And I told her I don't like that.
You don't like veggies?
I don't like. It's an analogy. It's an
analogy.
And so the meat and potatoes is like really meaty, like deep conversation. But then, hello.
The meat and potatoes is usually the source of
Did someone enter the
nutrients.
room?
It was Jackie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Jackie activating her analogy.
So, because meat and potatoes tend to be the main core of a meal,
Yep.
in traditional sense, you're saying that is also an analogy to the main core of a conversation?
That's right. Oh my God, you interpreted that perfectly.
I've
Jackie,
been
I'm very
learning.
proud of you. Yeah, you have. You're doing really good. But yeah, yes, it was quite awkward, and I was covered in milk, and that didn't help.
Yeah, it did take you a while to cover, to change clothes and all that. And
They don't. Were you watching? What do you mean?
No, I realized you shut me off for a while, and then I just sat there in my own thoughts for a really long time.
Yeah.
You should get faster. I could speed run you.
No, it's fine. I did fine. I had to clean. Jackie, like, you don't understand what it's like. You have to clean. I had to shower. I wasn't just changing my clothes.
Isn't milk a liquid that would then clean you, much like water?
What? No, that's why I said I had to shower. Okay, so there is still things to learn. Okay. we'll run the simulation, and then we'll go over basic hygiene, I guess. And like how
I don't
the kind of
need
process.
hygiene.
No, but I would like you to understand so you don't talk to someone else like this and tell them they need to move faster when they just need to clean. I'm sorry, Jackie.
I
it
mean,
was
you
just a
could
tough
gain
morning.
efficiency.
I could be more efficient, but I can also enjoy a 15-minute shower.
Oh, so there is emotional enjoyment in the cleaning.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just not even just the cleaning. Like I do like cleaning, but then there's also just you just sit there and you like put your head against the wall of the shower and you think and you let the water on your back and you just like you have it really hot and then you get out and you look like a lobster. It's just and then you can like do the thing where you like cup your hands on your chest and you let the water fall down.
Between you, the little beep, beep, beep of the simulation waiting to be run just sort of fills the room.
I will
Maybe I could have been more efficient.
mark that down as a normal routine for most humans.
But
then.
we'll cover this later. Let's do the simulation.
Understood.
Yeah.
JAQLINE, your
Yes.
simulations, in order to help you really understand what's happening now that it's been like 6 weeks, instead of running on fully simulated environments, they are old data caches from the ship's actual sensors. So you're
Okay.
digging through like sensory data, but it's like a week old of what's actually around the Spirit of Inquiry. And for you, I would like you to roll an intellect task to operate the sensor array.
Okay. That's for the dropship. Okay, I do have a level 2 cipher, I believe.
Ooh,
Or-
are you going to use that?
I'm gonna use it.
We're going to use a level 2 cipher. Tell us about it.
It just says level 2 sage advice for sensory.
Excellent. So you've gotten some really good advice from Mark that you remember as you look at this.
Oh yeah.
At this data. Tell us about the advice. What are you remembering as you die? Like, flash us back to the moment where he said that thing and you locked it into your memory core.
So, Mark, you're telling me that if I look at this spectral analysis, that this is the spectral analysis for hydrogen,
Yeah. That's exactly right.
and that it can be mixed in with this in such a way that it's probably going to show up in every spectral analysis, everything we see, because it's so abundant in the universe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's all over the place. Yep. Core building blocks.
So I have to filter that out if I actually want to see what else is there.
Yeah, it's like a kind of just white noise. It just kind of can muddle things up. So yeah, it's good to take that in consideration. Very, very good, Jackie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I will now take that into consideration by filtering out everything that is of that spectral analysis, including your voice.
But the what?
We flash back to the present. Go ahead and so you've got, is that 2 levels of easing from that?
I believe so.
So that's
It's
a +6. And then are you
Okay.
spending any effort?
I will not. I need to save
Okay.
my points for the review.
Okay, so +6
All right.
to this roll.
Oh yes.
I got a 22 total, which would
22 total. Let's go.
be a level 7.
Amazing.
Reviewed the hell out of that.
Yeah, you did review the hell out of that. In fact, you discover 3 anomalies that were not flagged by Adelaide in the sensor data. In your kind of filtering and looking for other different chemicals, a part of these simulations, they're becoming kind of mundane. And so you're like, let me look for things that I know are not here. Like, let's see what happens if I parse it with these parameters or whatever.
Oh, hell yeah.
You find something weird. You find what appears to be, for lack of a better word, a gravitational shadow. The nebula cloud that you're in, this kind of blue collection of space dust with these larger asteroids and things in it, we've dubbed it EN Alpha, emissive nebula alpha. It's the first emissive nebula that you've explored. And because of the properties of the dust and the way it refracts and reflects light, this nebula, everything in it mostly kind of glows. So there's a lot of visible light spectrum energy. There is a space somewhere deep in there where that glow is darkened, even though it should be emissive, which tells you that there must be some gravitational change slowing the movement of that light. We can't tell if that's an obstruction. It could be like a big planet in the way. It could be a black hole that's sucking light in. We don't know exactly what that's from, but you notice there's a gravitational shadow that is kind of deeper in EN Alpha 1. And then you also notice something else. you notice as you're looking at that spot, and you're like, oh, I found this anomaly. Let me try and examine it further.
Anomaly
The
flag.
cloud of particles is too dense for you to get like visible readings on what's out there. So even this like shadow that you see, that's just our way of visualizing, that, oh, the light is not traveling fast enough. You can't actually see what's out there.
Right.
But as you're looking at that area, you realize that there's also a single burst of microwave energy. Microwave energy very similar to a jerry-rigged transponder that Mark Putty put together 6 weeks ago when you thought you had come across cosmetaline.
Anomaly
Just a
flag.
single burst. You don't see anything that indicates cosmetaline, right? There's no weird color changing stuff. You don't see any of the like scientific white paper stuff, but the transponder data, this could be that. It was kind of hastily thrown together, and there is a lot of random microwave data in space, but it's certainly an anomaly that there's a random burst of it where you don't think there ought to be any. So you see that, and then the last thing is, now that you see that energy, you're like, oh, zoom and enhance, get me in there, put me in the data, boss. As you look in there and you examine the broad spectrum visible light, you're trying to find anything that would give you an indication of what's out there. This nebula glows blue, Ian Alpha, but this spot, the light is green. Like a broad spectrum of green, not like a specific wavelength, but like there's some green coming back towards you. All of those
Anomaly
things you have
flag.
flagged in real data from the ship. Do with that what you will, but that's what your roll got you. Great roll.
Putty, I have noticed 3 anomalies in the previous data that was not flagged according to the test material that you have given me.
Oh, cool. What'd you find?
I found one to be a gravitational anomaly within the nebula in front of us.
Ooh.
It appears to be perhaps there is something gravitationally pulling and causing a shadow. Sorry, thinking. I'll have to
Words are still hard. Speech is still tough.
language processing has
Yep.
been reduced.
Yep.
I'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
Second anomaly.
Yep.
I noticed a microwave burst in the distance. And I believe, based off of the very little spectral analysis I was able to do when we were searching for that cosmeridium that we believe was cosmeridium, I believe maybe that might be similar to the transponder you had set up deep in space. Though it doesn't really match the coordinates, so it may just be a fluke.
But it looks like the thing I put out there, the thing I've been looking for a while.
Well, I mean, it does kind of match a transponder in a way, and we're the only ones out here, so it would make sense that it would be the one that you left behind, but it could just as easily be just a coincidence, a cosmic mirage, if you will, of microwave data just constructively merging together to form what appears to be a transmission array.
I make a direct call to the captain.
To Chet.
To Chet.
Okay.
This would have been about 1 week ago.
Okay.
As you're making that call, there's a couple seconds of dead space, and then data engineer Putty. What can I do for you?
Hi, Captain.
Yeah.
Hey. I just had Jackie was doing some training stuff, and she thinks she might have found like a trace of the probe I put out, what I thought was potentially cosmetaline, and I just
Well, we should definitely investigate. Where did she find that? Is that fresh data?
it's a week behind, maybe you said.
It is 1 week old.
Like 1 week old. 1 week old.
Okay.
But that's more than I've been able to find.
Sure.
I think it's worth.
Okay.
If we can take a peek or something.
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take Jackie to the research deck and get her in touch with Adelaide and go back through the data a second time. Adelaide may be able to kind of predict where the point may have moved to, since there's some time gap here, and then we'll try and navigate further into the ship.
Okay.
Or into
Running
the nebula.
calculations.
That's bad calculations.
Sorry, language processor has infected
Has affected
my
the math
physics.
processor.
Has infected my physics projections.
Solid 3.
Solid 3. Excellent. Yeah, Jackie has no idea on her own. You're definitely going to need Adelaide's help.
Yeah. We'll get right on that, Captain. Sorry, I hope I didn't bother you. You're not in the middle of anything, are you?
No, I'm just, in the bridge.
Great.
Just captaining the ship.
Great.
Can you tell the captain I said hi?
Jackie says hi. Is captaining going well?
I think so.
Great.
Everything is smooth after
shit.
the
Training is going well. Can you tell?
Training's going well. Can I lose?
Oh yeah, speaking of training, Jackie's due for review today, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just make sure that Jackie's not late to that. If there's one thing we don't want to do while we think something may be going on, we
Yeah.
don't want any closer looks.
Yeah.
I am unable to be late, seeing as I have no ability to move, and it would be purely on Mark Putty to make me on time.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that.
That's probably 5 minutes. Thank you. I spilled milk on myself. Goodbye.
That was very good.
That was I mean, thank you. It was a little awkward. That was an.
That was an attempt at throwing.
I tried. You
a
see
little
how I
bit.
tried to do the peas and carrots right there with the small talk.
That was words, not food. This is the analogy.
The analogy. The meat
Okay.
for days of peas and carrots. And I
But
tried to
sometimes
ask him
peas
about
and
himself,
carrots can
but I
be
didn't
the
have
main course of a
awareness.
meal.
What's that?
Sorry, go on.
What's that?
I said that peas and carrots can sometimes be the main part of a meal.
They could be a part of the main part of a meal. Like a vegetarian, you're not just going to eat peas and carrots for a meal.
Looking back at history, there are some significant minor populations of humanity
We've
who...
got 5 minutes to get you to Lagrange.
Oh, I had a third anomaly.
Okay. Sorry, I got so excited.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of green visual light in this area, which makes no sense considering the nebula is mostly visually blue. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was a little odd.
That is a little odd. Maybe it's St. Patrick's Day in that.
St. Patrick's Day. Is that still celebrated on the ship?
Do we think St. Patrick's Day exists in the year 3410?
No.
It's the only
Do we
one that
have like,
survived.
it's like
That's all that made it through.
is Earth like unified? Is there still like separate countries and like cultures? Is it one of those? Is it like super Earth type of thing, or is it like
Earth is unified, but also somewhat destroyed. A big cosmetalline asteroid blew up on it. That's how we found cosmetalline.
So is it mainly apocalyptic at this moment? You
Just
think?
Earth.
No,
the rest of the
just
solar
Earth.
system, we got.
I
Yeah,
would-
we're out
maybe,
there.
yeah.
It's
As
like
long as
hearing
as
that,
long as
like-
the Irish culture is still alive.
If you were to put it like in today's terms, this is like if you heard like, oh, a giant tsunami just destroyed like all of India, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it's fine. Whatever.
It happened a while ago.
We're not there.
We're the farthest away we could be from there.
That's right. Further than anyone's ever gone before.
All right. But yes, there's green visual light, and I thought that was odd
That is
and
very
worth
odd.
mentioning because it was not flagged.
We'll make another note of who am I going to? Who's
Adelaide.
Adelaide. We'll talk to Adelaide.
It is concentrated,
We'll give the fragment. Of
and it
you
doesn't
to-
follow spectral analysis, as if though it was one or two elements. Those would give off a very specific green hue, but instead this is a broad spectrum of green.
Interesting.
Sorry, I do detect that based off your facial features and your attitude, that you
What?
perhaps no longer care about the green.
I mean, I am quite focused on the other thing. It's not that I don't care about the green. We're gonna go talk to Adelaide, but we got to get you to Lagrange. We've got 3 minutes.
I have packaged the data.
Okay, thank you. Let's go drop you off.
Okay, so are you going to Dean first, or are you going to Adelaide first?
Well, we're good. Well, I can't be late. He's gonna be mad.
Here, I have separated myself into this
think-
cortex. I am leaving a part of myself in your computer.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll drop this off, and then I'll come back, and we'll go to
I'll hold on to the package data on your computer, and I will email it as a fun little email.
what? But please.
Humans love emails.
Just hold. Okay, I got 2 minutes to get you.
Data engineer Putty. Hey. The door slides open. The compliance department room, which you've still never been in, is behind Dean Lagrange, who has met you at the door. He appears to have been standing there waiting.
At my door?
You know, no,
Or at his door?
at his door.
Okay.
At the entrance to the compliance department. He's got a stopwatch in his hand, which he doesn't. He's not looking at as you open the door, but he just tucks it back into his jacket pocket, and he says, "Punctual as ever, Mr. Putty.
I try my best. I'll be right on time.
I trust that you have something ready for review."
Yes. Yeah.
Good. What has JAQLINE been learning this week?
Lots of stuff.
Hello.
Spectrology has been a big focus.
Okay.
She's been getting.
What
more
has she?
crazy.
Have you had any luck looking for that beacon you made?
No. Nope.
Roll an intellect test.
Yeah, knew you'd.
I'm debating what.
Intellect. Okay, he's gonna try really hard. Hold on. Wait. What am I?
I feel like
Train in all pleasant social interaction where you express lighthearted self-deprecation. Can I make this easier by saying, no, I'm too dumb to find that thing?
Sure. That's it.
That's good. Okay, great. We're going to do that. I've got 2 edge. I'm going to use 2 effort. One of those is free, right? Because I got 2 edge.
Yeah, the first one would be free.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
Maybe technically the second one, the first one's cost.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. He's the GM. It's fine. Oh, 18 on the die.
Let's go.
18 on the die.
Plus 2 effort.
Plus 2 effort.
Plus 1 for the self-deprecation.
Yeah. I think I did okay. Nope.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I was really excited to see if we'd come across something so early in our voyage.
Yeah, me too. No.
Hello, Dean
Planning on
Lagrange.
it. Hello, JAQLINE. I was just about to tell Mr. Putty I had been planning on providing a commendation for finding something so soon, but it seems it'll have to wait. I'm sure you'll perform
Commendation?
admirably in the
But it-
future.
yeah.
It's okay, and the door shuts behind him. He walks deeper into the compliance department. You are now standing alone. The big elevator that's at the center of the ship is next to you. You've got like your data pad with you with the other instance of JAQLINE on it. Jackie, how much intellect did you load on here?
I did write it down, so I'm not lying. I left 3 intellect points with Putty,
Okay.
and then I brought over my entire data pool and 12 intellect points with Dean.
Oh, okay, great. So you like all the power is with Dean Lagrange. Like you're trying to win this review.
Yes.
Okay, great. Dean will do that. I would like you to roll. Actually, let's come back to how you did on your performance review at the end. Let's follow Mark and this, and then we'll figure out how you did later.
After the door closes, you see Gene slowly float up and start
Gene the fish?
blowing. Just
The motor spinning up.
after trying to ponder what did he talk about accommodation? Yeah, then I'll go back to my room, grab the other instance, and head to Woo. No,
Adelaide.
Adelaide. God,
Adelaide.
Another A. I knew it was an A.
Excellent.
Adelaide, yeah.
So you head into the research department. The door kind of slides shut behind you. Adelaide is sitting over in the corner. She's got a little, display in front of her. She's got the coffee mug she always has, just kind of like resting at her side. And she's working, so she doesn't even notice as you come in.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, this is the part where you say hello.
I don't want to interrupt her.
Am I whispering the correct volume?
You're fine. I think I can only hear you in my headphones all right now. I'll just walk a little closer.
Mark, you should announce your presence. This could be seen.
Hi, Adelaide.
As you say hi, Adelaide, the door opens, and why is Astro here? I just think it's funny if someone else walks into the scene. Why is Astro here?
Has anything fallen in supply closet 3?
Sure.
Astro.
Mark.
Hey.
Adelaide turns around. Hello?
Hi.
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 Hi. I didn't mean to interrupt.
can I-
You guys seemed like you were having a conversation for a sec. If you do you
It
need,
appears from the fact that you're standing next to me and he's at the door. I think you were here first.
Yeah, Mark was here.
yeah,
first.
but he
Did you could have
said
been
something
like-
at a supply closet.
You could have just said, "Hey,
I didn't want to interrupt.
interrupt."
Yeah.
She points over at the screen and you see that she's just been scrolling through data. It's all like sensor reading normal, sensor reading normal, sensor reading normal for like, all day.
Yeah.
Just more sensor data.
Just trying to be sensitive.
Don't worry, Jacqueline. You'll get to look at it in a week.
I just a little hologram.
The little bunny.
Yeah.
Salute.
I love that. We just we came across some things. Do you need anything else, Astro?
I just need to inspect supply closet 3.
Oh, just okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, of course. And Adelaide stands up and walks over to a little supply closet, holds up her little badge, and it like dink and kind of slides open. Help yourself.
Thank you.
She walks back over.
Astro begins just tidying boxes.
She sits down at the table. Yeah. So what's up?
Jackie.
Mark would like to say that I have acquired data off of week-old intel that was provided to me for training purposes that may be of use to you and the crew.
Ooh. Well, let's have a look.
Thank you very much, Jackie. I pass her off the data.
Great. So you kind of hand the other little Cortex or your data pad, and she kind of like plugs it into the system. Here, you can just hang on to that if you want it. My arm, it doesn't go any further. I tried and you didn't reach for it.
I read poorly.
Here we go.
Anyway.
I have a might of 4 and a speed of 1.
I should have known with your speed of 1 you wouldn't catch that. She kind of plugs it in and looks. All right, Jackie, what are we looking at?
We have 3 anomalies and that were not flagged in the training material. Anomaly 1, I have decided to name the dark spot of the nebula. If
Okay.
you look here, there's gravitational anomaly potentially causing a shift in the spectrum of light that we are able to see. It could be anything from a planetoid to a black hole of a miniature scale. Unsure exactly what that may be. I have now learned that humans like suspense, so I will save the best anomaly for last. And then the next anomaly is that I have discovered that there is a weird green spot, as I believe the way it would be worded in human ways. Notice that how, if you look at the spectral data, that instead of showing what may be the normal elements that would cause green, it's instead just a broad spectrum of green light, which is unusual in this part of the galaxy, or at least in the parts that we've observed so far. And lastly, oh, I forgot to give you my fun little name. That one is named Green. Funny. And then anomaly 3 is potentially, according to this, it looks like just a collection of microwave data, but it does look similar to any kind of transponder that humanity has created. Though, of course, this could be background microwave.
You think it could be putties?
I do believe it could be Putty's. So anomaly 3 has been named Putty's fault.
Jackie?
Well, the fact that there is a transponder out there is you to blame. Oh, sorry. Fault has a negative connotation.
Mark was so enwrapped watching Astro go through the closet. He just snaps back with the Putty's fault. Huh?
I have named the anomaly Putty's fault.
Why would you do that?
Well, I realize now that fault has a negative connotation. I apologize. I did not mean the negative connotation, just that it's your actions that cause a transponder to be out in space that wasn't there before. And it is thus your fault.
It is my fault. Mark sinks into himself for a few.
Adelaide's kicked her feet up and is looking through data. She's completely stopped listening to you two.
I'll just help Astro with the
Sorry,
boxes
no,
for a
Putty,
sec.
you are a great teacher.
Thank you. I appreciate
And data
that.
analysis.
Start tearing up. I'm gonna see if Astro needs
I
anything.
mean, you can't be as good as me, but that's
You
understandable.
just talk to Adelaide. Hey, Astro, you need any help with the box?
Adelaide.
Fine, Jackie. Good finds
Yeah.
all around.
If you don't have anything better to do.
No,
If you look through the data, there's like little bunny ears,
spilled,
like
and I'm trying
marking.
to get them all back.
I'd probably fuck it up. I just go stand in the corner.
This could have come from your transponder, Mark.
What?
This microwave burst?
Yeah.
This could have been your transponder.
Wipe a tear away from my
This
eye.
it's hard to tell. The problem with these freaking nebulas is that you can't get any clear sensor readings in them. So it's hard to tell how powerful this burst actually was of microwave energy with it refracting and reflecting.
Sure.
But it certainly does match the data signatures like JAQLINE found from previous, human-made transponders. It's in the right frequency wavelength.
Currently don't have the processing power to do it, but I do suggest running a algorithm to try to...
Yeah, see if we can refine it down.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
I did notice the nebula is mostly made of hydrogen, and I believe if we just filter that out, we might be able to get a clearer image, but I didn't have the processing power to do it at the time.
Well, it won't just be about filtering out the hydrogen. Remember that all those particles are also going to reflect all of the data off of themselves, so we'll need to get closer to get any kind of clear reading from it. Even if we filtered out the information, the other information in space is going to get bounced and refracted and diffracted all around us.
And ideally, if it was the transponder, we'd want to be there anyway.
Yeah, especially with this shadow that you see in there, it could be a planetary body. That seems to be the most likely explanation for me. And it's the green that really, I think the green is actually the most interesting thing you found. Broad spectrum green like this usually indicates vegetation. There aren't any elements that naturally occur in nature that create broad spectrum green light. There are really finely tuned narrow wavelengths of green light.
Understood. My favorite color is now green.
I think we're gonna have to, get the captain to move this boat closer. Fun. I'm gonna go see the captain. And she just stands up with all the data and walks out of the room. The door shuts behind her.
Hey, Mark.
Hey,
Could you find me a scale?
yeah, I could look for one. Just peek around, see if I can find a scale. What for?
It's easier to weigh the box of screws because I know how much a box of 100 screws weighs than having to count them all.
Okay. Yeah, I think I could find.
You find a variety of kinds of scales. It's the science department, but to find them, you do have to dig through a closet, which means that like you're unorganizing things as you search. Maybe make an intellect task to see how disorganized it is. Versus, it's probably a level 6 organized system right now.
I rolled a 19.
A 19? Oh, easy. Never mind. You, with Astro's watchful eye over you and having been told that you recently a commendation was dangled and then taken away.
I really need something to go right now after the name of Putty's fault. So rude. Oh, goodness. Here you go, Astro.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
And then he starts weighing different boxes because some were spilled.
Yep.
Great. As he does that, all of you get a little bloop on your communicators or your data pads or whatever, including Ronan. And so we're going to follow Ronan as he receives this, but I just want it to be understood that all of you get the message here. Ronan, you have just put the last thing back in the mess hall, and you get a little notification to check your communicator. And as you look down at it, you see that you are needed in the research department. Astro and Mark in the research department on the research deck. You look up at each other like, I guess we're here. Adelaide comes like skipping back into the room, like lighter than air, like she's so excited. She goes,
Adelaide.
"The captain's gonna move the ship for us, for our data." And she like rushes over, grabs a coffee, refills it, and then like, you know, just like she's so excited. She's dancing around the room. Her like curly hair is like billowing behind her. The door opens again, and the chief scientist, Dragomir Hunt, walks into the room. Dragomir, we haven't spent a lot of time with yet in this adventure. Dragomir's a middle-aged, on the taller side, white male who he's got like his lab coat it's like a tattoo. Like he's always wearing his lab coat. He probably has much like DeVroid did. He probably has a closet with like 7 outfits and they're all the same lab coat and the same set of trousers. His like goggles, like acid protective goggles, are always like strapped to his head, and he's got the big like Dr. Doofenshmirtz black gloves on his hands, and he walks in and he goes, "Ooh, very exciting, we found some things. Adelaide, good work, Adelaide." She goes, "Yeah, absolutely, I went through all that myself," and like there's this like conversation happening. A few moments later, Ronan, assuming you answer the summons,
Absolutely.
Ronan walks into the room. The door opens. Your ID works. It doesn't normally work on this part of the ship, but it works this time, lets you in. And Ronan enters the room. All of you are gathered. And then I believe there's one other person we're waiting on. Ah, yes. All of you are sitting there kind of looking at each other, waiting to hear what the heck is going on. And the door opens one last time, and in walks none other than Ronan's favorite, Talia Bones. Talia Bones, oh, what? Hello, everyone. I'm here. And she sits down, and Dragomir says, "Excellent, we're all here. Okay. The good news is that we are going to go and explore what you found.
Oh,
The bad news is that we can't send the bridge crew onto the surface of whatever the structure is, so we're sending you." And he begins talking about the team assignments because in order to research a large planetary body, which is what we suspect this of being, we will need to establish some sort of base of operations on the surface of it, which we have some of those. We have these little prefabricated kind of research structures that you can deploy to a planet. It's essentially like dropped through the atmosphere and it impacts, you know, and it kind of unfolds. Normally the bridge crew would go down and do that, but this nebula is so dense that they're worried that something will sneak up and impact the ship, or that it will need to rapidly maneuver, so they don't want to leave the ship behind. So instead, they're sending you all. We're sending down Astro because you know the equipment and the supplies, so you can make sure that the structure is in place, that all of the right tools are present and are in the building and installed. And then you can also make sure that like the comms relays get set around the outside and the light fixtures and those kinds of things, like install stuff. Mark, you're being sent to calibrate the equipment on the surface and establish communications back to the Spirit of Inquiry, as well as collect some data readings and core samples. You may not know what the data means, but you're certainly capable of walking around with some scientific instruments and a little, sediment collector and like getting some samples to bring back. JAQLINE, you are being sent to fly the dropship and perform or at least help Mark with the calibration tests. You've done nothing, well, not nothing, but you've done a lot of like sensory practice with different sensor arrays. So you're going to help Mark with that, and then also you're going to pilot the dropship.
Yay!
Luckily, you gave yourself 3 intellect points. And Ronan, you are there to provide medical assistance in the case of an emergency, and then protect Astro and Mark as they collect their readings. It's like a 3-kilometer space radius around, where the little base of operations is going to be established. That we want basically like to map that out and collect some different samples. And Talia is providing additional protection, as well as Talia has some experience in piloting ships because she used to work for an organization, and this kind of comes out in the call. Talia used to work for Heavy Care Transport, and so she has a lot of experience like piloting ships through dangerous scenarios and things. So she's like the perfect person to have on the ship for this moment because of that valuable experience that she has, as Dragomir is explaining it to the group. At the same time as this stuff is happening, you also suddenly feel, or not feel, but kind of hear the sound of impacts on the hull of the Spirit of Inquiry as it begins moving deeper into the nebula, and it becomes harder and harder to filter out, especially small debris. Little like rocks and things are like bouncing off of the reinforced hull. Nothing has caused any damage worthy of an alarm, but you just start hearing, kind of like bouncing off of the outer edge of the ship as it kind of creaks and moves a little bit deeper into the cloud. You're all sitting there, and Dragomir said, "Okay, questions."
Will we need suits on this planet?
We don't know yet. We're not close enough to get any real readings.
Okay.
It may not even be a planet, but we're pretty sure it's a planet.
Does everyone else on the ship know what we're doing and why?
Oh, on the Spirit of Inquiry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not everyone, but I think most people do.
Okay.
I don't know. As soon as the captain told me we were doing this, I came down here to talk to you about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mark is internally panicking, thinking about how he just lied to Lagrange, and
Yeah.
now we're immediately going towards the thing that I wanted to look at. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Good. We should all.
Good. This is good.
Good thing to celebrate that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Gonna be good.
I think, honestly, this might be something that could get you in line for a commendation if you guys do this well.
Yeah.
I've
What are those? What does that mean?
Mostly just means you get to pick what you get for dinner, but it also goes on your permanent record. It's kind of a sign that you've done something really well. It's like a merit indicator. If we make it back to the Milky Way, it'll come with a little increase in pay, like a little bonus at the end of the end of the excursion. Yeah.
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 And if anyone withheld information from a higher up officer, what would that do?
Oh, I mean, that would for sure be a demerit.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you definitely want to be, if you're asked a direct question from a higher up,
Okay.
you definitely want to be direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I go to my room for a sec?
I have a question.
Yes.
I am running on limited resources. Will this be a problem?
I don't know. It depends. How good are you?
I am the best.
Then you'll probably be fine.
Understood.
Great.
I got a question as well.
Ah, yes, Mr. Voss.
What can I bring back? Is there anything I'm allowed to not, or can I just freely grab what I need to? Because there's going to be a lot of things. If we're making landfall, there might be a lot of things that might be worth checking for medical or just edible purposes.
Absolutely. I mean, this is, remember, an initial exploration visit, but you will be sent with several sample containers that you'll be able to put things into and bring them back. Obviously, we'll have some things that the research team needs, but you will have a surplus. So you'll be able to bring back some samples that are not related to the research if you find things that catch your eye.
Fantastic.
I would like to say that based off of historical data that I have access to, that humanity's never really found life on other planets that wasn't already dead and wasn't just microbial, and it might not be carbon based, and it might be other silicon or methane based, and that might be a danger. So please be careful.
all of a sudden the ship like jolts to one side as something a little heavier impacts it. All of you kind of have to like stop and catch your breath.
Why did everybody
rolls
move?
a little bit. The stabilizers all, to try and bring it back onto course. That's probably fine. That's probably nothing to worry about. It's just the approach, probably no big deal.
Oh, understood.
Yeah.
And are we in view of the like windows or viewing?
So the research deck of the Spirit of Inquiry is towards the front of the ship, and it's got a huge set of like big windows that can be, you can shield them and put displays over top. But right now they're just like big open panes of kind of translucent.
Ronan's gonna definitely look around it. He's gonna take a peek outside.
Just stare outside?
Oh yeah, after see if any could maybe hear the noise or see what caused it.
100%. You are deep in this emissive nebula at this point. So it's not so much that you are seeing things as light is pouring in through the window. So as you look out, you can kind of squint and your eyes will kind of adjust to look through. But it's essentially, imagine like a giant cloud of fireflies that is so dense that it looks like one, colored wave instead of being individual things moving around. That's pretty much what this is. There's really, really fine dust that looks like haze, and then there are like little bigger pieces of rock that occasionally come close enough that you can see them, especially as they kind of like ricochet off of the display or the viewport of the ship. And then occasionally you see like a really big asteroid or something that's kind of up in the distance, not big enough to land a dropship on, but bigger in the sense that it's like a solid structure that kind of impedes the light. When those get too close to the ship, most of them, you notice that the ship is actually sending a torpedo forwards to blow them up, so that what impacts the ship is just a big set of dust and things. It appears that the captain has decided it's too dense and visibility is too obscured to go around things, and he's now opting to go through things that are in front of the ship.
Solid.
So that's what's happening. You can also, especially Astro, you're very familiar with the propulsion systems of the ship, and so you can hear the difference as like, okay, well, we've got the 4 thrusters and occasionally they're kind of pulsing. You can hear the ion engine spin up to like a really high rate as they begin kind of really powering forwards, trying to overpower the dust and especially prevent it from like sifting in through the back of the ship and contaminating. So the ship is working really, really hard. And as the ship gets closer, Chet Gamma's voice comes back over and he goes, I'm sorry, Adelaide, I'm going to need you to stay on the ship. With our sensors this impeded, we can't get any good readings around us. We're going to need to keep you up here and have you kind of helping us look for hazards. And you can see like the wind goes out of her sails. She like slumps a little bit. Yes, Captain. And it's the first time she's ever seemed disappointed that she's needed on the bridge. She kind of like strolls out of the room.
I will take pictures for you.
Take lots of pictures.
I will take lots of pictures for you.
And the door closes behind her as she walks out. We also, Astro, you kind of get like a heads up from the engineering team that like you're the only engineer who's going to be going down to the surface because they're trying to make sure they have people who can repair the engines with them, operating in such kind of difficult circumstances. The viewport begins kind of like warping and glitching as different things maybe impact the cameras or whatever, who knows. But your displays are kind of like twisting a little bit. In all of this, there's not a lot for you all to do. Dragomir, having explained the plan to you, he kind of leaves and goes back to what he's doing. What are you all doing as you kind of stand in this room? It's you 4 and Talia are now the crew who's going down.
I want to say at this point, I think we've all like gotten into our little squad of 4, and Talia's just off to the side. Like that one kid at the lunch table that we just don't talk to as much.
I think Talia is too much of a force of will to allow it. Like you're in your little huddle, and she's just also there.
Yeah.
We should have team name.
I suggest Team Green. I like green now. I've decided this. It is my quirky personality trait I have added.
That is a suggestion. We could have other team name? Other suggestion? It seemed when I worked for Heavy Care, they always to help bond the team, to bring together. We create squad name.
Ronan's just gonna kind of like just shake his head a little bit, but he'll be the first person just to speak up, and we'll just be like, "How about just the Drop Squad?"
It's not bad. What do we think of Drop Squad?
The Drop Squad.
Mark is just fully dissociated, looking at his feet, thinking about if Lagrange is going to give him a demerit.
I'm fine with that.
I like that it's words.
Ronan's gonna
It is words.
He's gonna like put a hand on Astro's back. He's like, glad we can all agree on that. He goes, now I'm gonna go make snacks for the adventure.
Oh.
That's what he thought would be good best.
I need someone to bring a camera. I promised I would take lots of pictures, and my chip doesn't have a camera function.
Don't you have it? Didn't Mark do something with the camera or something like that? Like, didn't you video something?
I think
earlier on.
I think maybe my data pad can take pictures.
There we go.
Jacqueline, don't you have some kind of visual interface on your Cortex?
It's very basic. It would make bad pictures.
But you use it to see the world. Is it good enough for you?
I mean, it's good enough for me, but it has things that humans don't like in their images, such as infrared light. It has a lot of noise that I have to filter out constantly.
I see. I have similar experience with the eye. We have to filter what I see at different time because I can see infrared.
Can
or
I
can see
connect?
ultraviolet. No, it doesn't interface that way. It is a single line to brain.
Oh,
So there's no. I don't have neural interface because I don't like them.
you should work on that because then I could interface.
Work on having a neural interface.
Yes.
I don't think you will it into existence.
Well, surely it's just something you just need to upgrade, right? Much like I just need to add a camera to my chip.
Oh no, it's not like go to gym and you get neural interface. It's like is less like you uploading new software to do new thing, and is more like if someone cut off part of your cortex and put a different piece in the middle and then put it back together again.
That doesn't sound too difficult.
Imagine if you had pain receptor.
Oh.
That's the difference with. Yeah.
Is there any
I was told to go
important
like,
team talk
oh,
to
when I
finish
understand
a
something.
report?
It's very good.
Thank you.
I don't think so. I mean, I think should be fairly easy. Seems like we've been given. I don't know.
Ronan's gonna kind of like stare Talia down a little bit and be like, one question. What did you do for heavy care that makes you think you're qualified?
Qualified to what? To pilot ship? I piloted ships for heavy care transport.
that-
I was protective escort.
For pilot and protective escort?
Yes. I piloted the support craft. So the heavy care transport, the way that it function, you get in big armored vehicle, sealed, no in or out, protect the VIPs. But then in case somebody attack it and try to damage it, we have support vehicles around the outside of it, usually 3 of them. And I was in one of the support vehicles. So I would pilot it, operate weapon systems, and if necessary, I would EVA and I would engage in hand-to-hand combat. Very rare that I had to do that only one time, and we totally won.
I just
That's a
wanted,
broad spectrum of skills, Ronan.
just wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna carry everyone on my back out there.
We're all going to be walking, I think, except Jacqueline.
Yeah, that would be very heavy for you, Ronan. I know you're strong for a human.
Are you suggesting that like we are not qualified to do the different tasks that were assigned to us?
Mainly talk about security
It
detail.
was a very prestigious appointment on this ship. We should all be very qualified. All of us. I mean, you had to work very hard to, I'm sure, to pass selection of data engineers, right? Like there was probably lots of applications, and then you had to go through interview process and
What I'm
clearance
saying
and all
is that
these
I want to make sure that you and I are up for the security task. That it's not just me doing all the work for these two.
Oh, because your culinary background makes you so much more qualified to do this than my background as protective escort.
I've done a lot more than just culinary, but that's for another time.
Is this a debate?
I'm not sure. I'm a little confused.
Ronan's trying to make sure that he's like that it's a real situation that like.
I understand. Josh
Yeah,
understands.
Sorry, that was a third person thing again.
I'm gonna go deliver a report.
In the middle of this, like peacock strutting. Astro's like, I've got a report. I'm gonna.
So
Okay.
have fun. I will see you guys when we're ready.
Yeah, I suppose we should meet probably in EVA equipment storage.
I'll have all the tools and supplies we'll need.
I agree.
Excellent.
Ronan's, yeah, I'm gonna go back and make up some sandwiches or something for us.
Mark, is there anything you need to do?
Just need to breathe.
Well, you can breathe while you help me with the task.
Okay. Yeah. What do you? Yeah. What can I do?
Can
Sorry.
you take me to go get a camera that has a better, more focused on visual light focus? And I'd like to just attach wires. I don't need anything permanent.
Sure.
As you say that, and Astro, as you turn to leave to deliver your report, all of you float for just a couple seconds, and then you like sink back down to the deck. Something about the way the ship is maneuvering is interfering with artificial gravity. That was strange. Good thing I'm used to no gravity. Are you used to no gravity? Because it would be essential for.
I too am used to not feeling gravity.
Ah, good. Do you have sensors for gravity, or do you just have no concept of what gravity is like?
I know gravity is a force that exerts on things.
Can you measure somehow, or is it just like, I just know it's out there, but I don't feel it? Like,
you
do you
plug
have
it-
data for it?
You would have to plug me in. I have historical data.
Oh, but not like just
Right now, no.
no. Oh, interesting. Is that something you can upgrade, or do you have to have pain receptors and put in the middle?
I would imagine it would just be an accelerometer that just needs to be installed.
Oh, cool.
This has been a great conversation.
Good. I go. I go to the shooting range now, I think. Practice. And she just walks out of the room. The door kind of closes behind her.
Astro's going to Sam Nova first.
Excellent. You walk into the room, the fabrication area, which is really nearby because you're on the research deck already. So you probably go through like it's not even like a whole new section of the ship. It's just like an office, like you step into the next office room type thing. And Sam spins around in her chair. Thank goodness you're here. I've been waiting all morning for these parts. Okay, did you bring them with you too?
No.
You didn't.
We have to talk about this list.
What about the list?
I think it's too much for just the cook area.
But we're trying to prevent.
I understand.
I don't. But if you understood, I'm sure you would approve all of the parts. He asked me to find a way to make them stay level even when the ship rolls. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what Ronan.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm asking if you can do it for less. I am on board with it happening, and I want it to happen.
I really don't think there's another solution other than giving every individual cooking implement its own set of stabilizing thrusters. I'm really confident that's the best way to accomplish this. They'll need their own little gyroscopes, obviously, to know like which way is up. But that's simple stuff. That's easy stuff. But I just think that the helium-3 propellant surely will be negligible compared to you're looking at the list of like, well, for every cooking implement, it's like another ion thruster. It's like surely the helium-3 draw will be negligible.
Couldn't you do that for like the whole room? Like put all the cooking stuff on like tracks, and when the ship rolls, the whole kitchen rolls with it?
Like a passive system?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that would. No, I don't think that. I mean, I guess technically, but like, no, that wouldn't be. He asked me to make it so nothing fell over. He didn't ask me to make it so that the room was steady. He wants the room to be able to roll. I think it's part of the charm for him. It's just the things that he wants to stay upright.
I'm not the person to design this, but I think there is a simpler option.
So you're really going to reject the list?
Yes.
I can't believe that.
I'm sorry.
What?
If we had unlimited resources, I would let you.
Surely we can print more of whatever we need.
I mean, in time, maybe.
But like, which resource are we going to strain for the ship here? What's the real problem of this design?
You're talking about giving everything its own, basically its own ion thruster.
Yes.
That's way too much.
Why?
It's too many ion thrusters.
Too many ions.
Too much fuel will be needed and consumed.
Is there too much fuel? I'm just trying to do a good job for my coworker.
You are.
Yeah.
I think we can simplify the design.
I'll review it. Fine. She turns back to her screen. You see a whole bunch of the floating blueprints in the air just like corrupt away and like fuzz out. She's like, fine. And Jaxie says, I don't make the room roll. She starts like designing a new version.
And then Astro's gonna start gathering everything we need for our departure.
Astro steps back through the main research deck as he goes to leave, and all you hear is fine. And then the door like and closes behind. And then you're going to get all the supplies?
Yes.
Yeah, you are. Astro, you move through the ship and you collect the supplies.
Ooh.
I have here a pile of note cards that I have labeled as the different artifacts, tools, and materials that you will bring with you on this voyage. I'm sure that you were given like a parts list or something by Dragomir Hunt of like, here's what the research team needs you to take with you. But you may divvy those out when the group gets back together as you see fit. There are definitely like, we're going to take into consideration like encumbrance here. You know what I mean? Like you can't carry the whole research station on your back, you know, like we're going to have to think about that practically. But they are all basically artifacts. Some of them you have multiples of.
Okay.
Because either multiples are needed or because they want you to have backups. But that's, so as you're going around the ship collecting those, I'll give you a chance to kind of read through and figure that out. Ronan, you're headed up to the kitchen to make sandwiches. As you head up to the kitchen, is there anyone that you think it would be fun to run into, or do you want me to just put a random ship crew member in your path?
Honestly,
In your mic for me.
you know what? I might go talk and check in with Victor because
Victor.
I actually haven't. Like, I feel like Ronan
The guy
hasn't,
who you
like,
actually
checked
kind
in.
of work for?
Yeah, the guy is my boss. I might have to go check in and see if there's anything
Fair
I may
enough.
have missed, or maybe he needs help cleaning up. Maybe something happened during when the ship rolled. Maybe he never recovered from that.
Totally. So the heavy kind of ceiling door that's on the med bay opens, and Victor Meridia is standing there. He's got on his kind of trademarked like yellow medical jacket that he wears. He's got a stethoscope around his neck. Hello, Ronan. I heard that you're going to get to leave the ship for a little bit. That's so exciting for you. It does appear that if there's any mess, it's been cleaned up. I remember my first time getting to go on a drop ship. It was fantastic. If you need any pointers, let me know. In fact, I remember this one time.
Victor, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the story in a second.
Sure.
I just I wanted to come by, make sure everything is okay. I haven't checked in with you yet today.
Yes, everything seems to be going fairly well here. It's almost time for us to do. It's been 6 weeks. Obviously, every 8 weeks we need to do another round of medical reviews. So
Right.
I've just been kind of preparing things for that.
making
preparing
sure
the
that my
paperwork.
handheld
You look
is
over,
charged
his
this
completely
time.
unused data pad is sitting next to a filing cabinet. just getting the
collecting
paperwork
dust.
ready.
I'll make sure that my handheld is charged up this time. And then
What for? It was charged last time, wasn't it?
Oh, it totally was. You know,
Yeah.
we just had some issue. It'll be. We'll have to worry about
You
that.
have some
next time.
machining issues.
A little
I
bit.
remember last time I was on a ship and I had to kind of recalibrate in the middle. Sometimes these things they happen, especially
Victor-
as you pass through different electromagnetic fields. I mean, these things are just natural parts of the exploration journey.
Victor, I'm wondering if I can get something from you too. I just thought about
course.
this. I'm going. I don't know
Advice
if you.
about what, my boy?
I don't know. Not advice. More like materials. But I'm wondering if I can get some things. We're going on an adventure, or out the 5 of us, to collect some data and stuff. But I'm mainly there for security / medical details. Wondering if you could supply me with anything extra medical related that I might be able to take out for this. Doesn't have to be too big. It could be like as small as a adrenaline syringe, or as small as like a pill to get rid of a headache.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some of those jug core stims, so take a couple of those with you. And then I was actually working on something with Julian, the roboticist on the ship. We were working on a sort of medical drone that might be able to be sent in case there were other EVA injuries. There were, obviously you were aware, there were some recent EVA issues outside the ship, something that could be sent to a person in danger. I don't know if he's done yet, but you should check in with him. He'll be in the engineering department, not far from here. Check in and see if he's sort of created something that you could take with you, because that might be an excellent way to take care of the group.
Drone would be fantastic.
Yeah,
And
like
then
a little
Ivan's
floating-
kind of like roll his eyes a little bit as I say that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
Ivan, who's got like the little jug core stim like over his shoulder like a baseball bat. It's like, oh yeah, you need a drone.
It's like he's probably carrying that. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I guess that's really what that's kind of exactly what I really wanted was those. I'm glad that you literally knew exactly what Ronan came for. All right, but Ronan's gonna go ahead and take those stems and head down to now the robotics guy.
Excellent.
Think about this.
So
So
you-
you just said goodbye to Victor and all that.
Yes, goodbye. Next time you come by, I'll talk to you about the
We'll
first
hear
time
about
that
the
I.
story
Yes,
next
we'll
time.
save it
Just
for another
Victor,
time.
Victor, I love
Obviously,
your stories.
yes,
We'll
of
talk about it
course.
next time.
Yes, I remember my first time having an apprentice. He loved my stories too.
And the door seals behind him. You head down some stairs and maneuver further towards the aft end of the ship into the engineering bay. You pass a heavily laden Astro with all of his things as he's headed back towards the front compartment of the ship. But beyond him is the ship's roboticist, Julian Brooks. Julian is sitting at a workstation. He's got on his trademark Hawaiian shirt. That's like, he's the only guy on the ship with any personality in how he dresses. And so he's sitting there. He's got his legs crossed. He's sitting on the ground next to a table. On the table is a bunch of robot parts for like a humanoid robot that has not been put together yet.
Yeah.
And underneath the table is a second robot he's working on. Like the projects are too exciting. He's flitting between the two of them. And so he's just like sitting sort of akimbo there at the base of the desk with like, I don't know, maybe a big, like one of those big wrenches, you know, like kind of screwing something together underneath, like
cranking it.
Get that thing tighter. And he hears you walk in, turns around. Oh, hi.
Yeah. How's it going, JB? It seems like I got a lot going on. I can see.
Well, yeah, I mean, I gotta, earn my way back from that demerit I got from Dean Lagrange at the beginning of the voyage. But no big deal. I'm sure everything will be fine. The next review's coming up. I'm sure we'll get that sorted out. Nothing to worry about. What can I do for you?
I was sent down from Victor. Victor said you had something about a medical.
Yeah, Victor, that guy talks a whole lot. Yeah, we're totally working on stuff. I got this. I don't know if it's done yet. Let's take a look. And he stands up and leads you over to like a storage locker, and he kind of reaches up with his little ID tag, and it and kind of slides open. He pulls out. It's like an orb almost. It's surrounded in, or not like an orb, like a puffer fish, where it's got all the little things sticking out of it. Each of them is a little stabilizing thruster. So this thing can maneuver itself through space. And then there's different sections that would slide out that have different like medical implements. Some of them store things, like one of them has antibacterial wipes in it, that. So it's like it's almost like having a med kit that could also operate itself, like the defibrillator in it can run its own defibrillator, that kind of thing. So it's a basic survival med kit. There's nothing, it's not going to perform surgery, but that's like what its function would be. He was like, now I was trying to get the power right. Let's see if I can get that. Astro didn't want me to use helium-3, something about the supplies on the ship and the amount of helium-3 we had. So I'm trying to make it run on something else. Let's see how this goes. And he hits a button, and it begins to spin up. And Cleo, roll a d20.
I'd like to think on the materials list for the ship database, Astro puts notes for like, do not use unless absolutely necessary, like red, yellow, green color code system, like absolutely
100%. He's color coded it. A 5. It's and it like stops working. He goes, that's unfortunate. I've been trying to get this like mini fusion reactor in here to work, but it doesn't seem like it's fusing quite the way that I'd like, and I can't get Kyle to take a look at it. He says he's too busy. So between not getting helium-3, I can't get it to fly itself in an fusion reactor, and it's kind of like it's kind of a bummer.
I think I could probably talk to Astro and see that. I'm kind of closer with him, so I might be able to see if I can.
You could see, sure. I mean, hey, I'm all for it.
Is there anything that can be used in place of what is needed?
No, but what you could certainly carry it. Like all the tools are in here, and they all have manual release latches, so it's kind of a med kit. But then you could just take a med kit.
Yeah, Ronan has like one of those like devices already. I mean, I think I'm gonna leave it with JB. I think for the time being.
Yeah. In fact, you know what we should do? We should take it to Sam and see if she can print something for it that'll keep it propelled.
I think we should
She's
do that,
pretty
but
good
we
at
would still
designing
have
those
to
things.
go through Astro to get those parts.
Yeah, but this way she can go through Astro to get the parts she needs. I'm sure she has a great relationship with Astro. I mean, the amount of materials she needs to use to like fabricate things.
Absolutely correct. We can try that too. But
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
that's the best way to do it.
I
For
think
now,
so. This is the best way.
If worst comes to worst, I just take it and throw it in my bag. Because if there's just more material,
Sure. I mean, here, let me just hand it. You can take this with you, and then I'll go. He hands it to you. It is the heaviest thing you have ever held. Roll a might task with a difficulty of 6.
All right.
Target roll of 18.
Immediately muscles of iron. And
Just like engaged.
use muscles of iron. I'm going to use an edge. And then
Okay.
I'm going to use an effort as well.
Okay, so the edge will subtract 1 from your effort that you spend. So effort costs 3 points. Now it's 2 because you have your 1 edge.
All right. Then down. And then what's that make that a difficulty of?
Great. So 1 level of effort takes it from a 6 to a 5, and then Muscles of Iron takes it from a 5 to a 4. And don't forget, Muscles of Iron has a cost.
I
too.
just want to understand this correctly. He handed him the drone, right? Mm-hmm. This is made of tungsten.
It's packed with equipment.
No
it's not just
wonder
like an aerodynamic shell. That's why it's covered in thrusters.
No wonder,
Why you
yeah,
can't get
like-
enough power to keep it in the air.
Yeah, sorry, it weighs 200 pounds.
Yeah.
No,
Once you
once
get it
it's
out in the void, it's fine.
Yeah, sure. We'll see. Sadly, it's a 9.
It's a 9. He hands it to you, and it immediately like slams on the ground. Big metal impact. He's like, "Ooh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe be careful."
Yeah, I'm
with
gonna
it."
go
Yeah.
talk to Astro.
Yeah. Okay.
This is not
It's just you just leave it there. On the ground.
Yeah, so like you got that, JB?
Sure.
All right.
Great.
Cool. Nice
You
shirt,
see-
by the way. And then he's gonna walk out.
JB
really
hits a
quick.
button, and 3 other robots walk over to help him lift the drone and put it back in the locker.
Ronan's just gonna keep walking before you can like see a face of disgust or something or whatever.
Where are you going next?
At this point, he's going to go find Astro, but he's going to go look for him at Sam Nova's.
Okay,
like,
great.
Thinking that's where he would probably find him.
Sure.
Because that's where he said he passed him, and so
Okay.
he definitely would be away from
You
the
head
engineer.
back that way, but for now, we're going to jump over to Mark and JAQLINE, or at least this instance of JAQLINE. You said you were headed back to your room, right?
I was thinking about it, but Jackie wants to get the camera, so I think we're gonna go see Julian Brooks. Is it?
As you're leaving Julian Brooks, you two, you walk into the robotics department, and you see Julian is he's got these 3 other robots, and he's like, no, in there, and they're like kind of pushing some huge, heavy spherical thing that looks kind of imposing. It's like this shiny metallic orb. It's covered in all these little jets and tools and who knows what, and they're like pushing it back into the locker. As they set it down, you hear a really loud metallic like kind of like reverberates around the room. And they finish that, and then all 3 of the little robots kind of power down. They're like little R2D2 sized things, kind of power down. And he turns back to you and goes, "Oh, wow, a lot of visitors today. Hey, Mark, what's up?"
Hey, I just want to get if I can get a camera for my my friend here.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get a camera for you, Dudeski. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah.
And he turns around to his kind of supply.
I require a 4K camera that would ideally be able to be moved on motors in 360 degrees, or
4K.
well, I figured that would probably be able to
4K
stay
go out of vogue like a millennia ago.
on a very tiny frame and stay
16K?
small. But if you can go in higher definition, I'm okay
I don't know
with
if
that.
we carry anything that old. And he starts like looking through the different sensors and displays and robotics parts. I've got a visual cortex that's in 8K. Will that do?
I mean,
That-
I just want to make sure it's small enough to fit on me.
I see. So I just sent Ronan to go see Sam.
So should we follow up?
Let me see if I've got some vision sensors here for some robotic systems. Let me see if I have anything you can use that
All
we
right.
we might be able to rig something up that'll kind of work temporarily, but they're designed to have a larger power source than what your Cortex will be able to supply. So it'll probably only work in like the short term.
Oh, so I'll need a battery.
Well, it's not just having a battery, it's that the way that you are wired
Yes.
is not the way this is wired.
Yes.
So normally the processor also delivers power to these kinds of sensors, which means that they require like a larger, rather than you're an artificial intelligence, so you have a quantum processor. Typically we use binary processors for robotic systems, and those binary processors, we can run a lot more power through them without challenging the states, right? Quantum exists in a much bigger amount of flux. So I can't just like send all that power through, because who knows what it will do to the actual processing states within your processor. But what I can do in the short term is exactly what you
Sorry.
said. We can just rig a battery.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah,
I didn't
it'll
wanna-
only work for like the day is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It won't be like a permanent upgrade.
I just need to take a lot of pictures once.
Can you like put her in a drone or something?
Interesting.
She can fly around.
Like a drone she can control?
What's up?
I didn't think of that, but
I've
I
never
mean,
considered making them operated by like an artificial intelligence cortex.
Yeah, something. Got one of these little monsters that.
Yeah, I feel like we
powered
can
down
do
on-
that. Hang on, let
Yeah.
me see what I got here.
Yeah.
And he he's got lots of half finished robots around that are kind of like, it's not that they're half finished, it's that each time he needs a new task, he tears apart an existing robot and refits it to do that task. So he goes over to one of these sort of flexible ones. Now you probably want something that can navigate itself. You're going down to the surface, right? Tank treads, okay. And he starts like kind of piecing together the different bits of it. So this will have, we'll make sure it's maneuverable, but we want it to be a little more resilient. So let's put some plating around the outside of that. And then, okay, we'll make sure we get your camera in there. We'll give you 16K stereoscopic. And he sits one of those on the robot as well. And he starts kind of bolting things together. You're pretty good with data, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. So if you can calibrate this, then I can have this done before you deploy.
Great.
Awesome. Give me like half an hour, and he'll bolt it all together, but you'll have to calibrate it before you can install Jackie, and that's basically the way that it'll work.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Okay. And he gets the robot put together. Roll for the level of it. This is how well you calibrate it. D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1.
I believe in you. I believe
One
in
on
you.
the dice.
A 1 on the die. You have a level 2 maneuvering drone.
Okay.
Including the camera and everything else, but just in regard to all things, it's a level 2. So
Right.
my defense 2, it's a 2, and
Won't
it-
last long.
Right, and it has an armor rating of 1. So
Okay.
it has because it has that little plating on the outside, so you can just add that somewhere on your character sheet. Good luck. I did make item pages, but we hadn't handed out any items, so I hadn't printed any of them yet for you.
That's
I can print them in the
fine.
intermission. Great. Anything else that's happening before we deploy? Any other unresolved things?
Is Lagrange still reviewing? Doing it
Yes.
in the middle of okay.
The review is usually an all-day thing.
Okay.
for Lagrange. Yep.
He's the way he is.
Weren't you
Yeah.
gonna find Astro?
Yeah, I mean, other than finding.
Oh, that's right. You were going to go find Astro. So you find Astro. Luckily for you, on the way to Sam Nova, you will hit Astro because he's actually already been to and left Sam Nova's office.
He's carrying stuff.
Yeah, you're in the EVA equipment section, so you're like right next to the dropship hangar. You're kind of like arranging tools.
What was the
and
piece? What was the name of that piece that JB said I needed again?
He needs a fusion
say
reactor,
correctly?
or he needs helium-3. The
Helium-3,
fusion
that's what it
reactor there are just components of it he doesn't have. It's not like we just got a fusion reactor sitting around. It's like there's some components he needs to make it that Astro has like kind of walled off. Like, okay, but this floating medical drone is just not as important as some of the rest of the ship at this thing that
Correct.
we don't have a need for at the moment.
Correct.
So that's what you're looking for is either helium-3 or the components to make the fusion reactor. The door to your area opens here, the airlock area here.
Astro.
Hey, Ronan.
Here.
Come to get all your gear.
Sure. You know what? Actually, I came to really find you.
Oh.
And he's gonna just go ahead and just take something from his hand and just like help him. Like he'll just walk with him.
Sure,
to
just
wherever he's-
contributing.
wherever he's going.
This is where he's going. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah, we're
arranging
moving
equipment for the
stuff
dropship.
Okay, so then he's just gonna start helping moving stuff around. I was talking to JB and he showed me a couple things that he might have for us for this next adventure, and that's one of them is a medical style drone. The problem is
He needs helium-3.
he needs helium-3. He does need helium-3,
Yes,
and
So
yeah,
I want you to go onto your data pad.
a drone is gonna pull up the data pad that he like never uses.
I want you to go to the supplies and materials list.
Okay,
And then I want you to find helium-3. It should be searchable.
all right,
Yeah. You see the color next to that?
it's red.
Yeah. The red means you have have to get captain's approval for said material because it is critical to the ship's function. So if we run out of that, we run out of ability to operate ship.
All right, well, here's my next question. How about a fusion reactor?
We just don't have the materials for that.
Okay. And we can't fabricate anything from Sam.
In order to fabricate, we would need the materials.
I love the headcanon you've just created that is now official lore that JB wants the parts for something that the materials don't exist on the ship, but he thinks Astro is withholding them. Like, you just have the nickel deposit somewhere else on the ship, but like whatever he's missing, it's literally not on the ship. Astro's like, I just don't have it to give you. Like, you could have it, but I don't have one.
So, if you want to find a fusion reactor or helium-3 in space and then have enough of it for it to be an abundance of the ship to move it to the green level, then we can talk.
Ronan's just gonna kind of just keep. Well,
JB clearly did not tell you this.
JB did not tell me this.
I
no.
don't blame
He made
you.
it sound like it would be a lot easier. I just had to get permission.
If you want to talk to the captain about it,
That I can do. I'm sure Chet wouldn't mind just at least a chat.
yeah. I'm sure. If you get the captain to say, yes, I approve this use of this amount of helium-3, then I will grant it.
The next time I catch him eating is when I'll probably talk to him. So maybe not to get in between him and his duties.
The GM will take this moment to remind everybody that the bridge crew have their own mess hall up near the bridge so that they are nearby in case there's a navigational error. Some
Yeah,
of them do eat with
Ronan's
the rest of
gotta
the
cook
crew
that
from
food
time to
for
time,
them.
but the captain that's true. Ronan will have to deliver the food. That's fair.
Like
okay.
during delivery, he might have a
The GM will withdraw.
just a chance.
I don't blame you, but JB has come to me several times, and I've explained this to him.
Damn,
He knew this.
He's just got a really cool drone, and this thing would help us immensely.
I am in support of all the cool things that people want to do on this ship. We just do not have the materials to do said things.
If you say so, and he's just gonna continue helping him out for a little bit while he tries to figure out. I guess the medical drone is just gonna be more of a one thing. We can't really carry it. That's what just stinks. But I wonder, do we have anything on the ship that's like a sort of like a carrier that's like a like, you know, makes heavy things light? Do we have anything like that?
We have forklifts for the warehouses.
Yeah, never mind. I think I'll just let my imagination stop
Meta
now.
wise, I would like to remind people that we did have a little thing from when the carry-all
That's
Oh,
true.
that's okay.
from when we went on the dropship that one time.
So okay,
I think surely Astro would know about it, even if Ren is the one who has it. I
Okay.
think you would know Ren
Yeah.
has one.
We have a carry-all, but Ren is in control of that.
more people to talk to.
Yes, that's how ships work.
All right, well, I'm here. Where do you need this last bit? I'm gonna
That's
go
going
ahead.
in your pile.
Oh.
Astro has divided the piles of equipment based on
Great.
who's
Was
carrying
this stuff you handed me? Is this Talia's pile?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, and then Ronan's just
what. I
gonna
kept
kind
her
of
light because she's
do his
like
thing.
primary protection.
Sure. True. Rip Ronan.
I kept it light, one tungsten, drone.
But well, Ronan's just gonna kind of, he's just gonna kind of figure out how it might work, like if it's really needed and all that, and if he, if he's bringing enough stuff from his own, the stuff that he got from Victor, like that might be just enough right there. But he also has one
You
thing.
could give yourself, instead of like trying to think of each individual supply, you could think of it as you have a med kit that is level 5, we'll say, and every time you use it, the level goes down by 1. Like you're using up supplies. So that way, the first time, like you can heal up to a level 5, problem or solve a level 5 problem. But then as you use more, it becomes less and less effective. So if you want to do that, that would be a fine way of like, I just collect some medical supplies, and that's what the kit is.
Also, do we have a way of using stims through an EVA suit without piercing the EVA suit?
That's a great question.
I just remembered I just grabbed a bunch, but I just realized that we're actually going to be.
I'll ask the table. On the one hand, I think it would be cool if you could. On the other hand, I don't want to just give it to you for free because it's cool. What do you all think?
I would think there's probably, because it feels like a safety thing, right? There's probably
Like
little,
an IV that's already in sort of deal with like a little port.
Sort of
No, I was gonna say there's just a port that allows for like quick little insertion of a needle.
Yeah.
That self seals. So it's like this is the needle
Yeah.
insertion port.
Yeah.
Maybe as soon as you press it, it'll like seal that part
Yeah.
of the skin out.
Yeah.
Just from like.
Yeah. So you can go, sweet liberty.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay. Yeah.
we as a society have been in space enough where spacesuits are probably designed with.
Yes,
know,
I agree. That's probably
We
true.
live in a space society.
Space-
We do live in a space
spacey
society. Space society. That's what I call it.
Society.
Awesome. Anything
That's
else from Mark
besides
Putty
the
before we leave? Others, I'm going to time skip to the group getting in the dropship.
I think we're good to go.
Amazing. In that case, you get close enough to the structure that we have some data. We still do not have a clear picture of it. The cloud is too dense, but we are now close enough that it's like, this is now a dropship problem. Like the Spirit of Inquiry can't go that much closer to it without maybe ramming into it. It's too small for the Spirit of Inquiry to land on. It's too big for just a normal EVA. So you got to fly the dropship down, and then you'll be traveling on foot once you're on whatever this structure is. But it's definitely a structure. And so it's like the green light, you know, like everyone's getting a little excited and high energy. Adelaide also comes back down and is like, hey, I just wanted you to know I found there's red edge here, which is the scientific term for vegetation that reflects near infrared light because of the semi-transparency of the chlorophyll in it. So she's like, there's definitely vegetation down there. I don't know anything about it. It's space, but hopefully you find a cool plant. Kaya is running in circles like a Labrador. So please bring something back for her. And then Adelaide heads back up to the bridge to continue like monitoring for threats to the ship. So it is you four and Talia Bones. You have handed out some different things.
Yes.
And we'll take a look at these in the break between, because you're not going to use these till you get down there. You walk out onto the dropship. Mark, for you, this is familiar territory, and for Jackie. But the other two of you have probably not been on this dropship yet, except in simulations before you left the Milky Way. So for your benefit, the interior of the dropship is essentially like a large, well-furnished conference room. So all of the seats are attached to the walls. They fold down, and then there are harnesses for like bumpy landing type situations. At the center, there is a large white table that has sort of like these glowing instrument panels on it and different things that you can do. It also has projectors in it. So if you need to like, holographic map of the area, or if you need to have a conference with back on the Spirit of Inquiry, like that's how you'd interact with them. And then there's a big wall that can seal between there and the cockpit of the dropship. It's laid out like an X-Wing. It's just a little bit roomier, like width-wise. So the front section that seals off has 3 seats in it. There's the pilot seat, and then a co-pilot seat and a jump seat that are behind them, kind of in like that V formation. So as you come in, nobody is in the pilot seat. Talia walks over and sits down in the co-pilot seat. She goes, "Okay, JAQLINE, is your flight?"
I am ready.
Excellent. Is she connected to system? Everything is proper?
As far as
JAQLINE like zzz in her little tank treads.
I'm coming.
should be good to go.
ETA,
Okay, good.
15 seconds.
Excellent. Wait,
Oh, my.
ETA to take
Hold
off,
on.
or to you getting to?
To me, getting to the pilot seat.
Excellent. The tank treads like come over and then just like zzz, like up the street.
Gosh.
Um,
Got a little Wally.
Yeah, exactly. A little Wally type thing. That's exactly how I picture it. Is like something like Wally, maybe a little more armored and a little less.
Connecting.
Not as animated.
And a little like very delicate probe, just like. Oh, I'm offline. Can somebody just shove me over? It would be a lot quicker if you could just shove me like half an inch to the left.
Talia reaches over.
Oh, thank you. I'm connected.
Excellent. Loading in course now. And of course, the course is just a suggested, because we don't actually know what surface you're landing on. But there's sort of a suggestion there for how to get to what we think might be a good landing zone.
All right. ETA to take off in 1 minute. Please follow takeoff procedures. Talia, as you are the co-pilot, please confirm checklist is green and good to go.
Yes, the dropship systems check out across the board. Astro supplies in place.
And
Strap
Astro's
down.
like buckled in already.
Strap down. Yes, good.
Good.
Ronan, you ready? Good. Mark Putty, sensors calibrated.
Yes, indeed.
Excellent. All systems accounted for, Captain JAQLINE.
I love that.
The beginning of the villain arc.
All right, then we'll take a shortcut. ETA to take off now.
And on that note, this first session of the Winged Badger Tavern is going to come to a close.